whenever I go back to visit, I feel my skin is like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I went back to visit my family in southern Utah, and I had lived in Florida for a couple years at that point, almost every person that I saw said something about my skin.
Always.
They said how, oh my gosh, your skin looks amazing. You look hydrated. Did I look deserty before or something? Like, am I missing something? Did I look all
I just pictured you like a raisin.
I know. Like, did I look crusty and dried out before? Nobody ever commented on my skin before.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
oh, it looks dry. They just only commented when it looked moisturized. And I was like, finally, a benefit of the freaking humidity.
Oh, totally.
Because I could do without it.
Hey there. Welcome to Parties to Playdates. I'm Kendall.
And I'm Jess. We're here to fill your day with warmth and laughter.
Join us as we navigate the chaos and joy of everyday life.
We're all about sharing real-life moments with a dash of humor and practical tips.
So grab your coffee and settle in for a cozy chat.
Because here, every moment is a story worth sharing.
No topic is off limit.
And every listener is a friend.
Let's get this party started. What's up, girl?
Hey, Kendall.
Hey.
How you doing?
Jess. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Lovely day in the neighborhood.
It is. Today is a little humid.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite in
Yeah.
the wintertime because I'm like, I want my hair to look nice.
Of course.
And when it's dry, it always looks the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Florida, so let's be honest, our non-humid days are very few
Oh, yeah.
and far between, but they're more likely in the wintertime. So in the winter, when I walk outside and it says it's like 60 degrees, I expect less humidity. And today,
Mm-hmm.
when I walked out, I was like, this is not okay.
Turn around, walk right back in.
This is humid. I need some dry. Give me some dry winter, Florida, just for a minute,
I
please.
know, right? Oh, dry. The problem with dry is, for me at least, is my skin. It's like crocodile, alligator style kind of dry.
Well, the longer I live in Florida, the longer I realize that it really does keep your skin more moisturized.
totally
Because when
does.
it goes away, I do notice
Mm-hmm.
there is definitely a change. But I grew up in the desert, and I never
Mm.
like, you would put lotion on and stuff like that, but I feel like your body kind of acclimates to it.
Definitely.
But whenever I go back to visit, I feel my
Mm.
skin is like, what is this?
Mhm.
But the first time I went back to visit my family in southern Utah, and I had lived in Florida for a couple years at that point, almost every person that I saw said something about my skin.
Always.
They said how, oh my gosh, your skin looks amazing. You look hydrated. I'm like, did I look deserty before or something? Like, am I missing something? Did I look all
I just pictured you like a raisin.
I know. Like, did I look crusty and dried out before? Nobody ever commented on my skin
That's
before. Like,
hilarious.
oh, it looks dry. They just only commented when it looked moisturized. And I was like, finally, a benefit of the freaking humidity.
Oh, totally.
Because I could do without it. So
Yeah.
it's annoying, but look, guys, we'll have moisturized skin today.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fine. It's okay. We're gonna push through. What
Mm-hmm.
did your people say or do this week?
What did they do? So Mavericks, we were in California for Christmas, and it was fantastic. We got to go see my family, and Ryan's sister also lives there, actually not far from where I grew up. And we all got to stay at my parents' house, which there's a lot of people living there right now. It's my parents, my oldest brother, my sister, her new baby, and my youngest brother, his girlfriend, and their new baby.
Oh, baby.
There's 2 babies there. So it's baby galore, baby everything. I mean, you walk in, there's like toys and books and floor mats and swings and chairs. And I mean, everything is baby everywhere in this household, which I'm cool with. I'm used to. I mean, look
Yeah.
at my house. Everything's shit's everywhere. And it's all Mavericks. Like, I can't even tell. There's nothing on the floor that's mine. Maybe a sock.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Ryan's sock. It's always Ryan's sock, not mine. But and so of course everything's new. Maverick is like, oh my gosh, there's so many things on the floor that I can play with and do whatever. And so they have like a front living room, and then they have a den. So like that's where everyone usually hangs out, is like in the den where the TV is. That's where the dog sleeps. The cat hangs out, and yeah, everyone. It's just open to our backyard. It's right there. It's great. And they have, of course, couches, chairs. Everyone can like sit and hang out. And then there's like little they're literally meant to like help your kids sit up. They're like little sit-up chairs for like 4-month-olds, like 3-month-old. Like they're for like
kind of like
babies.
the Bumbos.
Yeah, they're kind of like Bumbos,
Okay.
but they it might as well be a Bumbo, but it has like a. It's not a hard plastic. We have one that we used for Maverick when he was a baby, and we literally put him in it at like 2 months till he could learn to sit up by himself.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a fabric chair where they can like kind of sit and hang, and then their feet go out the front, and then it's like a plastic ring around them.
Okay.
So they just like sit in it, and it's small, so like their bodies are tight in it, so they can't, slouch to the side or slouch forward or anything. They're tiny. They're meant for like 2 to probably 5-month-olds.
Okay.
Maybe 6 months, because 6-monthers get chunky.
Yeah, they do.
And we're like putting our stuff down, saying hi to everybody, and then literally my dad's like, Kendall, Maverick's stuck. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, he's stuck in the chair. I'm like, what chair are you talking about? And we're like run back there, and literally Maverick somehow squeezed his freaking body, his 19-month-old, almost 20-month-old body,
thick-thighed,
in this seat. And he was stuck. And literally my dad like picked him up, and the whole chair came up with him, and we're like trying to shimmy him out of it. And I'm like, oh my God, you hold this thing down, step on it, I'll pull him. He's like, I don't want to hurt him. I'm like, Maverick's laughing. Like, we're good. And we shimmy his little body out, like his pants start coming off and stuff. Like, it's tight on him.
Oh my gosh.
Girl, the whole week he sat in that chair and watched movies. I am not
just squoze himself in.
He squeezed his little ass in there. Every time a good movie came on, he ran over to that chair, sat in it, and literally sat in it and watched movies. Like, it was his movie theater chair. It was so funny.
He's like, it's so supportive on my lower back.
Oh my God, he's out of control. And every time we had to like have 2 people, like someone help us get him out. It was so funny. And they also had like those like really sweet like swings that would like you plug in and you turn on and they like bounce the baby. His ass was in it. And I'm like, dude, you're going to break the mechanics. It's not meant for like a 30-pound kid. It's meant for like a 12-pound baby. He tried every chair in that house.
Oh my gosh. She's like, there's so much seating here.
There was so
Mom, why are you holding out on me? All I get is a couch.
And I was like, oh my God, dude, do we have to pull it down from the attic now? Like, and we should, and I'll show you. He freaked out over this chair.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
I love it. That's so funny.
It was like Maverick's chair. Literally, my dad would be like, where's Maverick's chair? I'm going to put the Grinch on. I'm like, I don't know.
That is so cute.
Yeah,
Mav's chair.
It was really cute.
Well, this week I had a really fun interaction with my older son, who's 15. He's super chill and just goes with the flow.
He is.
But he is also like my fun kind of goofy kid at the same time, but I don't always get an opportunity to see that unless we're like playing games or he's being ridiculous with his sisters or whatever. It was late. We'd been like watching movies and till super late. It was probably almost 1:00 in the morning. I'm like at that point where I just kind of like put food away in the kitchen and I'm like a zombie. And right before I walk upstairs, he's like, hey Mom. And I turn around and he has 2 like empty gift wrap tubes. And he was like, let's fight. And he just tosses me one just out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, let's fucking go.
So good.
So I grabbed the tube and we're literally like sword fighting at the bottom of the stairs at like 1:00 in the morning. And I'm like stabbing and slicing. And I was like, oh, you're so dead. And he's coming back at me and he's laughing and I'm laughing. And then the dog.
Oh, I'm sure Midnight got all up in it.
Midnight, the purebreded pit bull with the big fat head,
biggest
decides
head.
He wants to get in on the party. And he seems so confused. Like, it's like he wanted to protect Shaw, but he wanted to protect me.
Oh,
but then
he was conflicted.
But he also wanted to play the game with us. And so we're stabbing and we're slicing and we're sword fighting and he's watching, but he's kind of like in between us trying to figure out like, who am I going to go for? And I see him trying to get involved and I go to like just whack his little nose and he snatched my tube so fast and he takes off with it and it runs into the living room where the TV is on like a bookshelf, like the little cube bookshelf thing. And the tube is like
so
across the bookshelf. He jumps on the couch. He is
Fired up.
He is so excited. He is living his best life.
Aww.
And I'm like, you need to get that from him right now,
Yeah.
son. Like, he is about to rip that to pieces. And then he's trying to get the tube from the dog, and the dog doesn't want to let it go. It was hilarious. It went
At
from
1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. It went from like, I'm tired, I'm about to go to sleep, to like, Mom, let's go. And it was so fun because as I was walking up the stairs, I was just smiling because it's those little moments, especially when your kids get older and turn into teenagers, you don't, like, those moments don't happen as much as you want them to or that you wish they would, kind of thing. And I'm a goofy person. I say and do ridiculous things in front of my kids, to my kids, all the time.
Yeah.
But it was really fun that he was like, Mom, let's go. Just
I love that.
randomly out of nowhere. And I loved it so much. And then I get upstairs and I lay down and I'm like hyped up on adrenaline.
Oh, totally.
Because we just had a great time. And then like my heart's full because my son wanted to play with me. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to lay here for like an hour to calm down. Now I'm not going to bed till 2. So it was funny because
I love that for you.
Such a nice like juxtaposition of I'm exhausted and then this really wonderful magical moment with my son. So
and he's good. So sweet. That's so cute. And I love that Midnight was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Midnight does not take very much to get excited.
And he probably fell asleep instantly.
Oh, he probably did. He was like, this is the best. They let me chew on the tube. They let me play with them. I'm so excited.
Oh, how cute. Oh, goodness. So the party planner herself is with us. Jess.
That's me.
She is great at throwing parties. She's a fantastic host. I mean, even if it wasn't just a party, just coming over to her house, she always makes sure she has some vegan delicious goodies for me. And I feel like that's what a good host is. You know?
I just think about how much I like food, and if I made the horrible decision of becoming a vegan one day and had to go to people's homes when they invited me over to eat food, I would feel so sad bringing my own food. I know
that's what I do.
Kendall is not a bad vegan. She is the most sweetest one. She doesn't try and push her views on anybody else, and she always brings her own food, so she never expects you to make anything. But as a person that loves food and loves food made by other people, I always try and make Kendall something that she can eat at my house, because I feel like I love to feed people. And if you want to have some ridiculous eating plan, I'm going to try my best to give you at least one thing, even if it's just some vegan tortilla chips.
And she doesn't just do one, she'll do multiple.
So I'll try. And I'll be honest, I have come across some yummy vegan recipes.
That's right.
That I would eat again. And so vegan isn't bad. It's just different, guys.
I know. And it's so funny. The other day, I thought Ryan was telling me he's going vegan. I knew he wasn't, but he came home from the grocery store and he's like showing me all the things he got. And he's like, yeah, I got butter, but instead of butter, I got this one instead. Because he's super weird about his butter. He's like, he gets the same one every time. If it's not the same, he freaks out. And of course, I was like, what kind of butter did you get? And he literally showed me the vegan plant crocker. What is it called? Something.
Oh, like country crock?
Yeah, that one, but like the plant-based one with avocado oil or olive oil. And he goes, I got this instead. I go, are you giving up your yogurt butter? Are we going vegan? I knew it was like not a real thing, but yeah, he was like, absolutely not. He's like, I just can't tell the difference. It's just that good. I'm like, that's what I thought.
That is amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, so parties, Jess is fire about them. Loves to make you feel comfortable, which you do such a good job, honestly. So thank you so much. And she has the best brownie recipe, literally so good.
It's a vegan brownie recipe that is phenomenal.
It's so good.
I would eat it. I actually one day woke up craving it, and I was like, am I about to make a vegan brownie for myself?
Damn right you are. And you ate the whole tin, huh? It's so good.
It's so good. It is really good.
But yes, we wanted to come on and talk about some party planning and tips, advice, anything like that that goes along with anything party related.
Well, my biggest mindset when it comes to parties is keep it simple. Now, some people might not think I'm actually keeping it simple.
I know, because your simple and my simple are two different things.
When they've come to my parties before, because I do have a really huge Christmas party I throw every year that is extensive. It
It's
is.
so much fun.
Just imagine the most obnoxious Christmas decorations, like Buddy the Elf just bombed your house. And I do food and I do a ton of games and whatever. But I have over the years, especially with having 4 kids and we never did a ton of like birthday parties for our kids. Every year they got a party, we would kind of depending on how we felt, to be honest, like, are we in the mood to make this happen?
I mean, you have 4 kids. It sounds like you're doing a birthday party every quarter.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it just wasn't good timing. So we will always do something special, but not always a party. But growing up, when my kids were really little, I had friends, and I don't know, I feel like Pinterest and all the social media stuff, people post these parties that are
out of control.
And bravo, like, so cute. Thanks for all the fun ideas. But when I was a young mom, I 100% am not making or doing any of those things. So I can't tell you for little kids how many parties we had that I made a cake and we ordered pizza and I got 2 packages of balloons, blew them up, and threw them on the floor.
It's perfect.
And that was the entire party. And all the kids did was show up, sing happy birthday, eat cake, and then we just let them loose on the balloons. And they literally made up their own games, played their own things, popped them, didn't pop them, sat on them, threw them at each other, bounced them in the air. And it was the easiest, most simple thing I could ever do. And all the parents who showed up were like, this is genius. Because especially for small kids, as adults, we're like, oh, we're going to plan this fun game and they can do pin the tail on the donkey. And it, like, organized games for small kids is exhausting.
They don't listen.
Yeah, because they don't care. They just want to jump on the balloon that's 3 feet away, or they want to smash that cupcake that you're trying to get them to decorate, you know? So it's like, when you just give them something different and novel that's not in their normal everyday life, they make a game of it immediately. And so that's something that I learned from a very early stage in motherhood, is that you can literally just give the kids one novel item to mess around with.
Very smart.
Water balloons. Balloons are really great. I know some kids are scared of balloons, but you could also do those, like those ball pit balls, or put something in a different type of environment. You know what I mean? So take something that would normally be outside and bring it inside, or take something that's normally only inside and take it outside, like change things around. So that was something, especially with young kids, that I always loved doing. Now, as an adult, I throw parties for our friends who are all adults, obviously.
Yeah.
We're not partying with the toddlers anymore, guys.
Sucks to suck.
When we have parties or get-togethers or whatever, I try and keep it simple. Like, I'll ask people to bring food with them, like bring an appetizer.
Potluck is the way to go.
Yeah, it's like, bring an appetizer, bring a dessert, because then people can choose how much effort they want to put in, and it's fine, because I have parties because I want to spend time with people. I do love good food, and I will make, but that's fine. If I want the food that I want, I'm going to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I can eat it. And my guests think I'm making it for them.
Sucks.
But I'm gonna
it's for her.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of that food's for me.
Or Andrew, because he'll be like, she makes the best, make this.
Yeah. So I'm not making stuff for other people. I'm making stuff for myself. I try and keep it simple, where I ask people to bring stuff, and I try not to put too many expectations on guests. And if I ever do games, I try and pick games that require like elementary school level instruction.
Oh, yeah.
Because adults are smart, that's fine. But the last thing you want to be doing at a get together is trying to explain the 15-page rule book on some board game. And then half the people get it, and then half the people are frustrated. Half the people, especially the dudes, never want to play in the beginning. So the fact that you got them to sit down at the table to play the game with you in the first place is already a win. And then you're going to make them learn it, which they don't want to do. So that's another thing I do. Whenever I do games, I try and keep them, for adults,
super simple.
For kids, it doesn't matter, super simple. And I feel like the more ridiculous, especially for adults, the more ridiculous or just like wacky they are, I feel like the happier people are. Because as adults, how often do you just get to play like a little kid? Like when you have little kids, you can play with them, but a lot of time you're exhausted or you're playing their game that they want to play. You're not playing what you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And as adults, we don't get as many opportunities to just like be playful and fun and goofy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love giving my friends the opportunity just to do goofy, ridiculous things. One of my favorite card games, which it's not like a sit down card game, it's like a stand up interactive card game that's called Happy Salmon.
Oh, yes.
And I think
you brought this to one of the game nights.
Yeah, I've brought it, and it's so fun. And it's super fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's super fast paced. You're moving around. You have to do like hand movements and high fives. And it is literally a 5-year-old could learn how to play. I think the age range on it is 3 and up.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And so it's simple, but it's one of those games that people are skeptical at first because they're like, what is this? We're adults. But then you get them playing and they get into it. They get super competitive. People are throwing cards down. Like there's movement, there's action. You have to interact with people you might not
normally interact with.
Like you're not normally walking to in a room and high-fiving everybody or
because you'd be
doing
weird.
Like the Happy Salmon move, which is like your hand flapping like a little fish like on somebody's forearm. Like nobody's doing that to somebody they don't really know that well.
Yeah.
It's an icebreaker, but it's also kind of like a physical barrier to where you have those like emotional conversations where you'll get to know people emotionally, and it like connects you. And then you go like on a hike with somebody and they have to like help you up a rock, or you have to like physically like support each other, or you have to work together to accomplish something. And how some of my closest friends are people that I've had a variety of experiences with like that. So people that you have to do like a physical activity together. I feel like it has such an interesting bonding experience to it.
No, you do. You kind of like connect a little bit more to those people because you were so vulnerable, like touching and being weird and like stuff you would normally never do.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, we're good friends now.
Yeah, it's so funny. And be like, remember that one time we were playing Happy Salmon and you tried to jump over the ottoman and then, you know what I mean? And I saved you and you didn't break your nose like you should have. You know?
Yeah.
And it's fun. I love how those kind of situations bring people together, because that's what all friendships are anyways, is just a lot of situational experiences that are shared. When you provide opportunities for those that aren't just like sitting around and chatting about what was on TikTok that day or talking about your crazy kids, it kind of like opens people up to be just like fun and vulnerable and just connect with people in a different way that they normally don't get to connect with people. So what about you? What do you like party wise?
Well, I don't throw a lot of parties. Let's just start there. So when I do, it's like, oh my goodness, what do I do? But no, I mean, when you were talking about like young children parties, like where you just keep it super simple. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you, like keep it so simple. We weren't even going to give Maverick a first birthday party because we were going to be on his birthday in Orlando at Disney World for the week, because that was our thing. We were going to take him to Disney because we're Disney nerds, and we got to get a weekend at Disney, and so does he. And so we weren't planning on anything anyway. And then randomly, we probably like a few weeks prior were like, let's just throw him a quick little random first birthday party. He has like some friends. We have friends that love him. Let's just throw it together. And honestly, it came out really cute. It was all like obviously pick a theme. Like if you're gonna do a party, pick a theme. I feel like if you don't have a theme,
wasn't it like a pirate theme?
No, it wasn't a pirate theme. It was because he had tattoos all over his body. He probably looked like a little pirate. No, it was Top Gun. Of course, for Maverick. And it was super cute, and we put little tattoos all over he like got like sleeve tattoos, a chest tattoo, back tattoos, like these big pieces on him, and he just loved it. He was so cute. But threw it all together, got a theme, which I feel like that like helped so much, because it was like, oh my gosh, what colors am I gonna do? What tablecloths do I need? What kind of drink this? What kind of food that? And I was like, when Ryan was like, I really want him to have a Top Gun birthday party, I was like, all right, I guess it's Top Gun everything. Thank God for Amazon, because you could just buy all the things.
And this was a great year for Top Gun, like because the new movie came out. I don't know if that was this year, but it was recent enough that I'm sure it was really great to find merch for that.
Oh, there's everything Top Gun is now top one. So it was like that. Like it was his first birthday, his number one.
So bummed I missed that party
I know
too.
you were out of town, but it's okay. We still love you. He still loves you. He will never remember.
We'll get him on year 2 when he might remember us.
May-
For sure, we're going to be there for year 5 because then he'll really remember who we are.
Oh, yeah. He better be saying your guys' name by then. But yeah, everything is just so much simpler when it's just like you have a theme in mind and you can just like roll with it, and everything just comes in that one themed package where it was like on Amazon, Top Gun birthday, first birthday, whatever keywords you want to put in. But it was like cupcake thing. So I was like, oh my God, store-bought cupcakes. Now they look fantastic because there's a little Top Gun thing in it. Amazing. Top Gun tablecloth, Top Gun this, posters, themes. I mean, like balloons, things to hang on the wall. I mean, there were so many things. We even made like little Top Gun stickers for him with like his face on it and everything. It was like so cute.
That's so
It was
cute.
so simple, though.
I like choosing a theme too because I feel like that kind of makes what can feel like a really overwhelming task
huge
and kind of focus it down and be like, cool,
Yeah.
we're going to stay in this lane.
It literally brings it from like a huge umbrella to like one little chopstick of being like, this is what we're rolling with. Let's
That's
go
beautiful.
for it. So,
And I love a theme.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. So yes, theme is probably like the top tip I could probably, which I feel like is a normal tip, but whatever. I mean, even like for the Friendsgiving or Galsgiving that I did not too long ago, was I wanted it to be like a fairy forest theme in my mind. But I was like, it's Thanksgiving, but I don't want to go with like turkeys on the table. I'm sorry. Not my jam. But I wanted it to be like foresty and very fairy and magical, and like our backyard's pretty cool. And there's like lights hanging and stuff, and it's literally still set up. And like we had little mushrooms on the tables with all the candles and lights and pine cones, and it was just like so pretty in my mind.
It was whimsical.
Whimsical.
It was festive. It had like a nice like relaxed. It was nice. The lighting.
Yeah.
I feel like the lighting really kind of
brought it together.
Brought like such a nice a nice feel to it.
Like I honestly wanted us to go put the tables like in the ferns.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, don't know if there's snakes, spiders, poop. I don't know what else, but I guess.
Thank you so much for not doing that.
I wanted to go, like put it in the corner and like have like tree sap falling onto the
climb
table.
over this bush to get to the table.
That's
setting.
how gnarly I wanted it to be in the fairy forest of my dreams. But yeah, theme is huge. And then another thing I saw when I was like, because I was like Googling, I was like, what are good tips? Because I don't even know tips. I barely throw parties. Like, what do I know? But like the flow of the party, like don't rush it. Let it go with the flow.
Yeah.
Don't like force anything, because then it's awkward. I feel like.
Well, for my Christmas party every year, I love a crazy game. Like,
Yes.
I am always on the search for like the wildest, craziest out there ideas, stuff that people have never played before, but also at the same time keeping it simple, because I'll be honest, there's been a few years that I maybe have 6 or 7 games, which sounds really excessive, but they're pretty fast.
No,
and some of them I have not explained properly, and the game has completely fallen apart. People are confused. Andrew's like, what are you doing? What was that? Why did you pick that game? And I'm like, I don't know. It went a little different in my head. So sometimes you have to try things out and then just chug it up for a loss. But what's interesting is because people who come to my Christmas party know that I love games and that I play a lot of games, some years we'll play a game and people will be like, what's next?
Right. Like,
when's the next game? And the crowd is literally demanding to play the next game. And sometimes people aren't eating, people aren't drinking. They're like, let's play. Like, let's go. People are so
the
into
competitive nature of humans come out hardcore.
Keeping the game simple and, like you said, paying attention to the flow of the party. But also, especially at the beginning of a party, everybody's just kind of eating food, making a drink, chit chat. How are you? Oh, I haven't seen you in forever, blah, blah, blah. There's a moment when somebody has to take charge and demand participation in a nice way to get people loosened up and get people like into that relaxed mood. And it's like, I blame it. This is another part of adulting that I feel like people are so caught up in, like, oh, my business is struggling. oh, my kids are in jail, like,
Oh, geez.
like whatever it might be. Like there's extreme things that are happening in all of our lives. There's trauma, there's drama all around. When people come to my parties, I want them to forget about all of life's cares and just be free and frolic through the magical fairyland that you created outside, And so I feel like sometimes you have to kind of force people into play mode. And then once you get them there,
they're stuck.
They are in it. And they're like, why do we not live in this world?
Right. They're in it to win it at that point.
So I think that's the thing. If you're going to be the host or the party planner or whatever, just being okay with understanding, like, we can ask people to participate. And I don't say, okay, guys, who wants to play this game? I say, okay, everybody circle up. Put this on. We're going to play this game. And everybody's like, what? You're like, put your drink down. This is going to be active, And
Take your heels off, ladies. Let's do it.
And what's fun is sometimes you just have to tell people, like, this is what we're going to do and not really give them the option. And a lot of times people want to participate and people don't want to have to make a decision of, do I want to play this game or not? And so if you kind of make it like not an optional thing, it's okay. And you're not forcing people to do stuff. It's all just fun and games and it's a great time. It's interesting to see how people respond, but that would be my tip, is being okay to like require people to participate. And I'm upfront with people when I invite them to my parties. I'll say, this is the dress code.
Oh, yeah.
And I threaten that if they don't show up in an outfit, I will provide one. And they know
it's probably going to be way worse than what they were going to be wearing.
And they know what I show up in. You'll see from our social media posts what I wore to Kendall's half marathon.
Oh my God, yeah.
I threaten them and say jokingly, if you show up and if you're not in the dress code, I'm giving you something to wear.
Perfect.
And you know what happens? Everybody dresses up way more than I think they will.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great idea.
What have you been cooking this week?
Yeah, salads have been like my jam lately. And then soup. We did actually a really large pot of veggie. Like, I kind of did an inspiration of New Year's. So it was like cabbage and black-eyed peas soup.
Ooh,
it was so good. And honestly, we made such a big pot.
I would never think to put those two things together.
It was like a sweet potato, quinoa, cabbage, black-eyed peas soup. And it was really good. It lasted us for like 3 nights and days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of like our big one this week, but that's what we've been doing. We're big soupies.
Yeah.
We're soupies.
We're soupies.
What about for you? Tell me. Give me.
This week, I made this breaded chicken that my sister sent me the recipe for on Pinterest. My sister is the finder of so many good recipes on Pinterest.
That's great.
She sent me this recipe that was a breaded chicken that had Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs that you coated on it, but you dipped the chicken in a mix of like mayonnaise and mustard. So the breadcrumbs, so normally if you like dip chicken in eggs, the breadcrumbs stick okay, but that mayonnaise mixture stuck so good to the chicken that the breadcrumbs really secured onto it, and then it added like that extra layer of like fat and flavor on the chicken. And all of my kids loved it. Andrew ate it leftover like the next day. And he even was like, that chicken was fire. Good. But it was crispy and it literally took 20 minutes in the oven. So I just made some side dishes while it was cooking. And then by the time I was done with that, dinner was ready in under an hour. And it was...
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, it was so tasty.
Oh my gosh, Ryan would love that.
This week, we want to challenge you guys to maybe start thinking outside of the box on your party planning or the way that you're thinking about parties, looking at parties. If you're not a person that throws parties very often, maybe consider something you might want to throw a party for. Maybe just like a girls' night, a pajama party, make a little theme, maybe do a food party. I've seen some really great ones that are like soup parties. Sign me up for that one, where everybody just brings a soup and then you get those muffin tins and you just put little paper cups. You put little paper cups in the muffin tins and then you just do little samples of the soup, like a flight of soups.
Oh my God, somebody do it and invite us.
For real. We will 100% show up to a soup party. If you have a party or something coming up, Super Bowl's coming up, Valentine's is coming up.
Oh yeah.
Galentine's Day is one of my favorite things to do parties for. And let us know what you guys come up with. We love good ideas. We're not afraid to share that and pass it around because we all need some help out here.
Yeah, sip, sip, pass.
Sip, sip, pass. I love it. Are we drinking? Are we?
I almost said puff, puff, pass.
I was going to say, that seems more applicable. Are people drinking after other people for funsies?
I don't know.
Well, see you next week, Kendall.
Deuces.
Deuces. You totally took me by surprise on that one. I was like, what?
It just came out.
And that, party people, wraps up another delightful episode of Parties to Playdates.
We hope you're leaving with a smile, a story, and maybe a tip or two.
Remember, life's journey is better shared with a friend.
And we're so grateful to be part of yours.
If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to rate and subscribe to our show.
Your support keeps our community growing and our stories flowing. We want to hear from you. Please send us your thoughts, ideas, and questions to partiestoplaydates@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Parties to Playdates.
Until next time, keep embracing the chaos and finding the joy.
Take care and stay connected, party people.
Bye for now, and don't forget to laugh a little extra today.
Bye.